Okay, guys, here we are again with my friend Gert in a beautiful location. This place is called Santa Fe, Nicaragua, overlooking the beautiful volcano of Mombacho. So, what do you think about this place, Gert?
Well, I like it. I tell you one thing. I mean, I moved to Nicaragua. I don't know exactly how many years ago. Was it 3 years or was it 2.5 years? I couldn't tell you. I would have to look in my book to see when we made the decision to come here.
Huh.
But I went to other countries in Central America.
And what did get you here? Why you decided to come to Nicaragua? That's an interesting question, you know.
Well, you know, when you tell people in the United States or you tell people in Europe that you're going to Nicaragua, I mean, most people don't. In the United States, most people, they're not very good at geography, you know. So it's the truth. And they say, oh, there was these beautiful islands and big boats coming there. I said, yeah, there's some boats coming there, but it's not an island and it's not in the Caribbean. It's called Nicaragua. And the city I'm moving to is Granada. Oh, you mean the Granada? Yeah, I went there. Beautiful boats I saw there. I said, no. Granada is the oldest city where people lived consistently in the North and South American continent. You know, they were here a long time before the Pilgrims came to
America,
New England and stuff like this. So I went to Costa Rica, and I never found anything nice and colonial. I went to Panama, and well, they got what they call the old town of Panama. That's like one street, you know.
Oh, okay.
And I said,
I've never been there. I don't know.
And then they got the skyscrapers, and I said, well, I'm moving from the skyscraper country to somewhere else, so I don't need skyscrapers. Then we came to Nicaragua, and we did this for probably 3-4 years, you know. We knew that I was in the restaurant business for many years in the United States, and I still own a restaurant with a very good partner. And but we had these other 2 restaurants, and two of us, we were 3 partners or 4 partners, and 2 of the partners got old. And you know, and then somebody wanted to buy it, and so we decided, well, it's a good thing to sell it. It's, you know, still healthy. Let's sell it. If something would happen to us, what we're going to do, you know?
Yeah.
So we always looked around for close to, I would say, 3-4 years. We came down to Central America, and then so we stumbled on Granada, and you know, I went up on one of the clock towers of the churches, and my wife and I looked over the beautiful city. And we said, this is it. Let's do it.
Fall in love right away.
Yeah, fall in love right away. And so we decided this is where we're going to buy something.
Right.
Now, when you buy something in Nicaragua or in any other country, when you're going to move there, we went really fast. We just saw a house which we loved, and we bought it. And sometimes when I think back, I should have maybe thought, well, maybe I should rent maybe for a year, you know,
well,
and kind of see.
And that's the funny part. I'm a real estate guy, and you never asked me for it. Come on.
Yeah, I know I didn't. But that's a good idea. If you'd have screwed me, then we wouldn't be friends.
that's a good point.
We don't have any money connections.
But you know, you're right about that. I mean, before to buy a property, especially in another country where you're not familiar with what the rules and what things you need to consider before to jump into it, I think it's brilliant. I mean, go into the place, you know, walk around, talk to some people. Other expats can tell you how it is to move into the country, you know, what kind of thing you cannot expect to be exactly the same like in your countries.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're coming from Europe or United States. Typically people expect the standard, you know, which Nicaragua is a different thing. It's a different color, it's a different taste. And reason why I believe you and your wife love it, because it's like going back in time. And I always say this to people, when you come to Nicaragua and Granada, actually, it's like, what happened? It's like going back in the 80s and the 70s. So anyway, I can see why you love the country. So let's continue doing this, and I'm sure you're going to show something special today about the group.
Yeah, and you know, there's a couple more things I wanted to say.
Yeah.
About you know, buying real estate. I mean, first of all, you have to have a very, very good agent
I agree
who
with
is
you.
not going to screw you over.
Yes.
And a very good lawyer to make sure that what you're buying is actually sellable and can be bought. All right. But another thing is like, if I wouldn't have been as fast to buy this place, for example, filming today out here, we have this wonderful breeze, for example, in Santa Fe, all right?
Sí.
Now there are modern houses, and mine is a beautiful colonial house. But when you buy a colonial house, the plumbing might not work and the roof might be leaking, and this is not the United States where they have inspections, all right? So you get what you get.
You
all
get
right?
what you get, as is.
And I'm not mad at that. I mean, but for example, and the climate, the climate, my wife is not very good in hot weather. And it's hard for her many times,
Yes.
because now when you come out here, you have much more space, you're much more into nature,
True.
even being a development and having the houses close together. And you got this beautiful breeze.
Because we are close to the mountain, and that
Right.
makes a difference.
And it's quite a difference.
It is.
It makes a lot of. So I think if you do this, take your time and wander around and see where you. And there's another thing I really would like to say, which is very, very important. You have to look at your health situation. At one time, I wanted to go to. I would fall in love with the beautiful islands in Corn Island. All right.
Oh.
But let's just say something would happen to you in Corn Island. There's only 2 planes out a day.
True.
Until you get there, and until you get to Managua into a hospital, you're going to be dead. Dead.
True.
So you might as well not waste the airplane tickets. Just-
No, throw it away.
but you see, now being here in Granada, you have 45 minutes to go up to Managua. They got great hospitals, as good as anything in the United States. And then, if that's not good enough for you, you can fly from Managua to Houston, which has some of the best health cares in the world, and you're in 2 hours in Houston.
Very fast.
And you go out to where the medical centers are. There is one hospital after the other. You get taken care of. It's a 2-hour flight.
That's true.
And I mean, I think that is for people which are getting older like me. It's a very important thing, because your health is important. And so I'm telling you one thing. And that's another actual reason why we went to Nicaragua, because it's so close to the United States. 2 hours is nothing.
Yeah.
I lived on Cape Cod in the United States. If I would have to go to a hospital in Boston, it would have taken me 2 hours.
Oh wow.
You see what I'm saying?
I can see.
This is the place to be.
You're right. I mean, actually, it's a good point, because when you are, like I said before, when you are looking to buy a real estate here, and anywhere you go, logistically, you need to consider that, your edge, how much energy you want to put before you do something, or like if you had an emergency. And I think you're correct. I mean, Granada is kind of the right point. It's only an hour away, or 2 hours, and maybe from the ocean, depends where you go. Not too far away from Managua, the main city, where you can get a lot of stuff, like a big supermarket. But also Granada is kind of growing, that infrastructure, which is hospital and local supermarket. Actually, we have more than one now. And reason why I think Santa Fe and these colonial homes that people improve, love the idea. It's easy to walk, it's easy to find, and it's not a huge city. That's another big plus. I mean, people love the idea to live in a very compact city,
Right.
Which is like this. So anyway, I'm glad that you are here.
And
actually.
I think another thing I forgot, which is
Yeah.
important, is the safety. Nicaragua, as far as I'm concerned, is about as safe a country than anywhere in the world. People say, "Oh, you're going to Nicaragua." Well, is it safe? I said, well, it's very safe. Just look at the United States. Where can you go in the United States? You can't go to the cinema, you get killed. You're going to go to a rock concert, they'll shoot you. You go into a nightclub, they'll shoot you. You go and send your kids to school, they'll shoot you. So, I mean, which country is safer? That's all I have to say.
Here's the
And
point.
I'm an American citizen. I don't want to cut down the United States by any means. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
I know.
when people say, is it safe? Absolutely it is safe.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, safe country, and people are extremely friendly and very, very helpful. And I think if you ever getting retired, you should definitely think about it.
Thank you for that. Well, guys, let's continue doing. Let's keep rolling. Subscribe to the channel, and you're gonna enjoy and learn a lot with this, my friend Gert.